So, we're going to start 8.1. All right. The trig chapter went pretty quick. The next couple chapters are going to go pretty quick as well. Okay. I would say today's pretty easy. Okay. Today, we're going to go over the circumference. Sorry? What?
How many units do we have left till like the end of the year?
Probably 2. Yeah.
The way I probably would have done the same thing.
I think 2. Okay. All right, let's bring it in. We're going to be talking about circumference, so we're going to really be focusing on circles today. Now, you will need your calculator out because we're going to be using our calculator. All right. Now, if I have a line that goes from the side to the middle of the circle, what is this going to be called? The radius. And then what is it called when I have the full length of the circle? Okay, it goes the full length. What's that called? Diameter. We're going to be using these today. Okay. To solve. And we're going to be using pi. So we're going to be using our calculator. Okay, we're going to be using pi. When we find the circumference, okay, the circumference is going to be c. This is going to equal, oops, ignore that, 2 pi r. Okay. It's going to be 2 pi r. And what do you think the r stands for? Radius. Okay. Perfect. All right, we're just going to be using that today. Now let's just go ahead and look at some examples. Now, this one, this is the diameter of a circle is 20 meters. Find its circumference in terms of pi. Okay, so what was that equation that we used again? Okay. And then let's go ahead and fill this in. Well, if we have the diameter and it's 20, how do we find the radius? Huh? Yeah, if we have the diameter, we need to find the radius. We would just divide it by 2 because it's half the value. So what's 20 divided by 2? Okay. Now, I'm just telling you that's how we find the radius. Now, in this equation, we now have 2 times pi times 10. All right? Well, now, what we end up doing is we need to combine our 2 and 10. So what's 2 times 10? 20. Okay, so really that circumference is going to be the diameter times pi. All right? So you just need to know the length of the diameter, and then you do not need to multiply by 2. Okay? So now we have 20 times pi, and we just want it in terms of pi, so we're not going to put it in our calculator. Our answer on this one is just going to be 20 pi. Okay, and when it says in terms of pi, we're going to leave our answer with pi. Okay, so no decimals on this one. Make sense? All right, do number 2 real quick. So this is the radius of the circle is 14 inches. Find its circumference in terms of pi. Yeah. You'll just see. It was good. I ran a half marathon. What? This is the second time I've done it. It was not too bad. You would do it much faster than me. 156. I got 2 more in this next month, so I'll do better. It was very hilly, very hilly. All right. What do we do here? Our radius is 14, so we just have to plug it in. So we have 2 times pi times 14. Well, what's 2 times 14? So that's our answer. Perfect. Okay? That's what we do when it says in terms of pi. So now let's apply the pi. This one says the radius of a circle is 7.9 feet. Find the circumference to the nearest tenth. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug this into our equation of 2 pi r. So I have 2 times pi, and what's my r? 7.9. What's 2 times 7.9? And then 15.8 times pi in your calculator. And don't type 3.14, you gotta actually use the pi button. Okay, use the pi button, and what do we get? Yeah, it's very light. Not too bad. 49.6. Okay, perfect. Go ahead, do this one on your own. I don't know the answer. Okay, who can tell me how to set this one up? Yeah. We don't have to. Yeah. If we know the diameter, we can just do the 141 times pi. Well, no, it's okay. It's still the same thing. And what do you get? 443? Is this what we got? Make sure you pay attention if it says nearest whole number, if it says nearest tenth, okay? There's going to be different ones, so just pay attention. Now, what if we get a question that is like, why isn't it going up? This. The circumference of a circle is 13 pi inches. Find the radius in inches. So this time, we're doing the reverse of the equation. Okay? Turn on, Bo. We're going to do the reverse of this equation. So this time, I have the circumference equals 13 pi. Okay? Well, how do we find 13? Well, how do we find 13? What is that? 2 times the radius. So if we're finding the radius, we need to do what to it, Rowan? To 13. Yeah, what's divided by? So what's 13 divided by 2? And there's our radius. Okay, perfect. What about this one? What would our diameter be in this one? This one's just 11. It's the same thing. It's pretty easy. Okay? Because the circumference is 11 pi. That's our radius times 2, and that's our diameter. All right? Do we have any questions on these? All right? Not too bad, right? Let's look at some different questions. If I can, here we go. Now, we're going to be using what we learned, okay? And we are going to be finding the perimeter. Now, let's go ahead and look at this one. Okay? So on this one, it says find the perimeter of the figure below, composed of a rectangle and a semicircle. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay? This one. Let's go ahead and find our missing sides first before we get to the semicircle. What would this side be right here? What? How do you know it's 4? The radius of the semicircle is 2, so that means this distance would be 2 as well. All right. Well, if the radius is 2, our diameter would be 4. Okay, so that would be this whole length. What would our length be on down here? So now we need to find the semicircle. Okay, so pay attention here because I don't want you guys to round early. All right. When we do this, okay, and I set this up, we want to find the circumference. So I have C equals, and how am I going to plug this into the equation of 2 pi r? If I was finding the whole circle. 2 times pi times what? Times 2. Now, it is half the circle. Okay? So I have 4, the circumference equals 4 pi. Okay? If I just have half the circle, I'm just going to go ahead and divide my 4 divided by 2. Okay? So that leaves you with 2 pi. All right, you guys need to cut it out. Now, do not put 2 pi in your calculator yet. Okay? I want you to, for the perimeter, I want you to do everything together. So we have the value of all our sides. So I have 4 plus 7 plus what? 2 pi. In your calculator, put the 2 pi in parentheses, okay? And then add everything together because then it will give your official answer. All right, you cannot round 2 pi to the nearest tenth and then add, all right, because sometimes that's going to be calculated wrong, depending if you're dealing with decimals. So what do we get on this one? Sorry? I can't hear you. $24.3. And there's our answer. Did we get 24.3? Because it's just half the circle. Okay? Questions? Try this one on your own. just a little burnt.
I got 37.7. I was glowing the day of. Big bow on the together.
I put sunscreen. I went to the Royals game after I ran, and I still got burnt after I put sunscreen on. Did I ask for your opinion? Yes. You stay quiet over there. What did you say? Yeah, you can stay quiet too. You can stay quiet.
People always ask me I legitimately get asked that question all the time. Dude, let's not like one.
No. That's the one they won.
I got 37.7. Connor. You tell us which one's right. I got. If I'm right, I gotta rub it in Connor. I got 75.4.
All right, let's talk about this one. All right, let's bring it together. I have 4 semicircles. What did 4 semicircles make? 2 circles. Okay? So, if my diameter is 6, how am I going to set up the circumference for one of the circles? For one of the circles.
One of them equals 6 pi.
6 pi is one of them. Okay. That means the other one would be 6 pi as well.
So just times 2.
Okay, so I could just times it by 2. So you could just put 12 pi into your calculator. And what do we get?
37.7.
Do we get 37.7?
That's right, Connor.
Okay.
That's right. I got 37.7.
You would set it up as 2 pi r. The radius, this whole length, the diameter is 6. So the radius would be 3. Divide by 2. So it would be like 2 times pi times 3. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. And that's the whole thing. Because we would have to divide it by 2 if it was a semicircle. Well, since there's 4 semicircles, that makes 2 full circles. So then we'll just times the 6 by 2 to get 12 pi.
Wait, so what would we do if there's 5? I know I got that right, man. I'm a dog.
That's okay.
Wait, so would we times it by?
We don't have to.
I got 70. I went 6 pi times 2.
Why do you know? Because 6 pi is the whole circle. Well, this is just a semicircle, so you just need to times it by 2. All right, go ahead, do this one. All right, do this one. Do this one. Hey, let's do this one.
I got you. Watch this. Let's just sign up for here. Let's just do it. Wait, Connor. Cool. Okay, Connor. I don't want to. I got it right there. Load it up. So we're gonna be 4 in this scenario. Divide that by 2. I mean, I guess 4 pi. Wait, right? Right. This is 4 pi. Wait, I don't.
Yes.
Wait, so it's 4 pi. Wait, so 11 plus 4 plus 11 plus 4 pi.
No.
Why? Why? I'm trying to look. Why are you just looking at it? So the perimeter of the semicircle. That's what we had last time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 2. 2 2 pi r, the radius is 2, so we do it times those two.
So you have a whole circle.
So it would be 2 pi. So 4 plus 11 plus 11. Oh, what'd you get? I got 50.
Sure.
I got 33 points.
Not like tan. Sure. I tan a little bit. I don't know. I don't have much of a tan now. I don't know the answer. We're going to go over it right now. All right, let's talk about this one. Our bottom length is going to be 11. All right, the diameter is 4 right here. How am I going to set it up for the semicircle? What is my semicircle going to be right here? What's the value going to be? It's not 4. It's what? 2 pi. So I need to do 11 plus 11 plus 4 plus 2 pi in parentheses. And what do we get? Is that what we get? All right. Uh-huh. All right, here's the last one.
Oh, good golly. Oh my gosh.
32 point something.
I got it.
Maybe.
I got it.
Maybe.
That's right. Maybe. That is right. What do you get? It's going on YouTube. 36 point.
Yeah.
Bro? You get confused?
No.
You're right, bro.
It's just for you guys.
Last week. I don't know what I said. I said, oh, I said, what's up, class? Wait, and I went and watched it at night because I needed help.
Yeah, I got 36.8.
I honestly, I think I shut it here. I think I tell you guys, shut it here. I was like, oh my god. Sorry, did you do half? It's a whole circle. It's like the half and the half. Yeah. So what did you put your calculator for? Oh, it's 9 plus 9 plus 3 pi. It's 6 pi.
Well, yeah. I did.
Yeah. It's not. You're adding. It's the perimeter.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's the perimeter.
It's okay. That's what I thought last class, and that's why I taught it wrong.
See, even with the sand yeah, you get taught.
All right, how am I going to set this one up? To do the perimeter, I do 9 plus 9 plus what? This is going to be plus 6 pi. We're going to find the full length of the circle, okay? Because this would be a semicircle on this side, so that would be 3 pi. All right? Well, that's what the semicircle is. But over here, all right, we need to find the area of this as well, okay? So we might as well find the area and the circumference of the whole circle, because that's going to cover for both halves. So what do we get for our official answer? And there we go. Any questions? I'll give you the rest of class to work on homework.
Let's go.